Wheels Hawks.
Hello guys, it's the Morons Cakes, and in this video I wanted to present to you my new car 535 diesel. It's an awesome car with awesome painting wheels. Yes, I know haters gonna hate this color. It's gold, matte gold, but actually I wanted to break the rules, to make something different. I don't know if you will like it or not. Some of you, more of you, will not like it and will admire the stock feeling, the stock looking of the wheels, but I wanted to try out something new, and that's why I painted this color. Look at, come, look at this paint. Also, this paint is different if the sun goes directly into it. It's a kind of dirty now because these big brakes throw a lot of, the brake pads throw a lot of dirt on the wheel. Okay, enough for the wheels. That's my new 535 diesel. I bought it recently, swapping 540i for this car. Actually, 540i is a different category car. It's a manual transmission car, while this one is produced only in automatic version with the famous Gearbox 6-speed gearbox, which is put also in Bentley, in Jags, and in a lot of other cars. So it's a kind of very interesting transmission with very nice and long gear ratios. This car is from 2005 year, and it's pre-LC car. So after LC car have a different engine. There is a 286 horsepower engine, while this one produces, in the stock figures, it produces 272 horsepower. So the new one is much better, with much more fuel efficient. It's more efficient. The new engine is more fuel efficient, and it's lighter, of course. Some people say the handling is better in the LC model. But why I bought this car? One thing is the budget, because the LC cars with 3 liter biturbo engine like this the price is really high for a nice one, which is worth it buying. So I decided to go with a pre-facelift model. There is also some reasons that I decided this, and one of it is that this model has more strong block, engine block, while in the next generation, in the LC model, the engine is made of cast aluminum, and some people say they prone to fail, the block actually can give you a lot of problems, because it can crack, it can start losing cooling liquid, and maybe that's because of higher boost or different temperatures, winter or summer. However, I decided to go with a cheaper pre-LC model. However, the gearbox is almost the same. Some people say this gearbox doesn't take so much damage as the LC version. Maybe yes, but however, it's cheaper to make it one time, to rebuild it one time, and to have it 20-30 horsepower less than after remap, less than LC model. However, if you have 370, 80 or 400 horsepower, it's almost the same, not so much big difference. However, it's still a brutal number, and that's why I decided to go with the pre-LC version for one or another reason. So that's the car. It's an e61 estate car. I wanted an estate car with an M pack. I don't know, I think it's from factory, but however, it looks very nice. The car is a little bit dirty. The car came factory with 19. The car I bought it with 19-inch wheels, but at the moment I have fitted it inch wheels. In front it's 8J and in the back it's 9J, so different. The back tires are really wider. They are the stock tires are 275 on 35 height. Here you can see here, so really big tire. You can check here too, really a big, very nice big tire. I have put summer tires in the back and some winter tires in the front, because soon there will be a winter, and you know what, if I can move with can't move with the summer tires, there is no need to go out. No, just kidding. I will put maybe winter tires, so I will not drive it in the snow, because it's with this so much torque. This car has factory 560 Newton meters of torque. With so much torque, it's insane to go in deep snow or on ice, because the car spins almost immediately after pushing the pedal, and it's very hard to actually maintain and to drive it on some bad surface like ice or snow. So I have another cars for the winter. This one is to make you feel like you are flying on a carpet, on the highways, on the curvy roads. Yeah, it's with also about the car, I should say, it has sport suspension as a stock. Sport suspension setting is the option. The different thing about 535 diesel compared to the 530 diesel is that this one has really a huge brakes. Here you can see it's almost like an M brakes. It's a little bit not so bigger than however, but it's still very big. The expensive things here are the front brakes, which are and the front brake pads. If you buy it original, it will be something around 300 euros maybe for the only for the discs, and for the pads maybe some more, 200 or 300 euros. Also another thing that differs this car from 530 diesel is the biturbo setup. It has two cascade turbines, and they prone to fail, of course, because of a higher boost. This car fabrically goes on 1.8 1.9 boost bar. This is in stock version. I have already fitted a Wagner intercooler here. You can check it, it's black. It's original Wagner intercooler. It almost fits directly, with some minor modification on the supporting plastics. I had to remove them to cut some of the plastics in order to fit it directly, but overall it fits really easy, and it's almost 100% bigger than the original one. So I can leave you a link if you want to buy it directly. Other thing I modified, I put some Pipercross filter, and I have removed the butterflies, this intake shitty valves that prone to fail and to broke your whole engine. So you should remove it if you buy M57 engine. Some of the modern ones, most of them have such valves, and you should remove them. There are some kits that are being sold in eBay. You can directly finish with these butterflies and doesn't risk your engine. However, I have removed the DPF, and the previous owner removed also the catalysator. Well, the car is straight pipe until the last rear exhaust. Maybe if I find a proper one which will suit well and will sound nice, I will change it too, because it's a big car. You cannot, if I put it straight pipes, it will be too like vacuum cleaner, so I don't want to have this effect. It's not a V8, however, and you can travel really at high speeds without any noticeable noise, which is actually nice, very nice, because you feel the speed only and the wind, not so much the engine trying to push you against the wind. So let's look at the car. So the first thing to check is the headlights, because they are really expensive in this model, especially if you have dynamic drive with the dynamic headlights, which turns with when you turn the steering wheel. you have to check for any damages outside. You have to check if this let's say glass or plastic is clear and visible inside. If there is some other cover here and it's not clearly seen the head white inside, you have to polish them, but not always, the effect will not always be as good as you wish. So look for this, because these are pretty expensive. Look for them both. Other thing to look, of course, except I will not stop on any visual scratches. This is of course something normal, but other thing to check is this other whites for fog. You can check them too. If they are in place, you can put some stress on some parts to check if they are loose, especially here on these kidneys, as they say, because they often have some scratches, some spots here on this chrome, and you can check if they are in good state and they are securely fastened to the car. You can check also the logo, if it's clearly seen with nice covers without being burned from the sun. Other things to check, this e60 and e61 models have problems with these sides here, with this rubber around the windows. Often if it's from somewhere hot, if it's been on sun for too long, this one is you can touch it and it destroys immediately onto pieces. So if it's that the case, it's very nasty to repair. It's not so expensive, I think, but it's shitty repair to change these rubber things here around the windows. So always check here for any kind of rubber problems. This one have some issue here. I should fix it. It's easily fixable. Other things to check is underneath the car. You can look here to the wheel. You should have these plastics inside with being screwed on all places without being loose, because as you wish, these cars, especially with the sport suspension, doesn't have so much space, and you should check if there is something that can go and hit your tire while running, because it's ugly and bad for the plastic, will destroy also. So look for these parts also to be tightened. Also look for the plastic cover under the engine of the car. That's very important. For me, I always seek for these covers when buying a car, especially if it's not super cheap car, because this covers you from dirt, and if the car has been driven with this plastic off, it can have really a lot of dirt on all parts, on all elements that move. And here is the place to say that e61 have really big brakes, so check carefully if the brakes are worn out. These are brand new brakes, because they are cheap. They are not cheap to change. So if you buy a car and it has bad brakes, bad pads and brake discs, you should consider changing them, and maybe talk with the guy who sells the car to put the price down because of this, because they are not cheap at all. That's actually one of the expensive parts in the 535 diesel. Other things to check is here if there is any rust. This model is rust free at all, but you have to check if the car has been driven winter too much, and on some aggressive countries, some countries put aggressive things during the winter, sorry, and it can go here, it can have rust or some spots. You have to check carefully for any damages or any construction changes. Another thing you can easily check is that this space here should be all the same all around here. This rubber here, also check it. It's very bad when it's in bad condition. It actually, when you try to touch it, it actually destroys. Also look here, you see some damage, some space here. It's not perfect, however, but you can change for any visual big differences in these spaces around the doors. You can look also on the roof if there is any construction changes. Also the back door, if there you will notice for any big crashes of the car. Also, if you try to put some 2 or 3 fingers from the different sides and go from the other side, for example, here are 3 fingers, here are 4 fingers, we can go from the other side and check if there is any damage to the down part, to the downside of the car, to the running gear, any big crashes. So we can see here 3 and here 4, so we can say that in the back car is it doesn't have any significant damage that can cause the whole running gear to be not straight, and that can cause you an issue when high speeds or when going to have it adjusted. Maybe it cannot be adjusted if it's too hard hit and something is not in the right place. Also check here if that opens, if that closes. Try to walk the car and check if this one is locked, because sometimes this one got broken and really this doesn't close, and someone can put you some stones inside the reservoir and some dirt, and someone can make you something that you have to pay after that because it doesn't lock. Other thing to check, of course, are the side mirrors, because sometimes they burn when it's too hot. Other thing to check is on the doors. You can check here down for any rust here, because the water goes down, and often here if there is any rust or any kit, you can easily understand that. Okay, from the outside I think we've covered most of the things that you have to look for. Of course, overall position of the car, how it sits on the road, how it looks. You can go from behind and look it from far away, because some of the problems of the car and geometric of the car can be seen from far, not from so close. And look how it sits on the road. It has to be without any of course the surface should be flat. Okay, spend some time with the car, looking at it visually and decide if you like it or not. Also check for this one, tail lights. Often they get burned because if the trunk has been open for a long time, the sun burns them. This one not so, but this one especially. Also, when opening e61, check if the trunk opens easily. This one has some problems with the suspension here. I have to check them, because as you to change them, because as you see, they doesn't move freely. They should open your trunk easily while I have to push it. And the next stage of damaging this is they being not able to hold the trunk, and you have to change them. They are not cheap too for such small part, and it's easily replaced. Just remove this one here with a screwdriver, and the same one here, and remove it this way, and put the new one when the trunk is open. You will do it one by one, of course. Okay, this is the trunk of e61. First thing is to check if this button works. It should open the car. Other interesting thing in e61, which often breaks, is this one here. It has some nice options, so you can open from here and put some long things inside the car. But this one often breaks, so check here and do it many times. Do it 3-4 times, no matter what buyer thinks. You should check everything to be in the same place. You can also check for any moving parts or any loose parts on the car. Next thing to check is this one here. When you open the trunk, it should be like this. When you close it, you should put it like this. Test it like this. You can test this one for dogs. It's a pretty big trunk. I can lie here, I can sleep here. It's so big. So one of the biggest trunks I ever had in a estate car, actually. Really a big and very wide trunk for a European car. Here some nice big room spaces for some tools or some car medicine or some liquids. Here underneath you have a free space for a full tire. Some of them maybe are with this kind of spray for tires, but don't get me wrong, always get full tire. I don't have it now. Oh, I have a towing hook. Well, I don't have it now, but I'm thinking to buy. Actually, they are extremely overpriced because it's 5th series. You can buy for 3rd series very cheap, but for 5th series a little bit more expensive. But always buy such small spare tire, because when you get somewhere big hole, you will damage your tire, and the tire spray is not actually usable in every case, so you have to be prepared to change it and not wait for the car service to come. Okay, this is from the outside of the car. I'll now check inside the car, so let's go see.